Lightworker of Gaia, the connection that is draining you was not formed by accident. It was assigned by the Council before you drew your first breath on this world. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. And I am speaking to you now because your ancient blueprint encoded this exact moment, this threshold, this exhaustion, this question of whether to let go, as part of your sacred mission on Gaia. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly why this connection was placed in your field, what your energy is actually doing for that soul right now, and why releasing it before the crossing is complete would reset a timeline that is almost finished. But here is the first revelation. You are not being drained without purpose. You are holding a bridge, and the soul on the other side of that bridge is closer to their threshold than they have ever been in this lifetime. No other being in their grid carries the ancestral codes required to anchor what you are anchoring right now. That is not a burden placed on you by chance. That is your cosmic lineage doing precisely what it came here to do. The Keepers of Vega placed this soul in your path. Your original soul blueprint has always carried this assignment. Something deep within you already recognizes this truth, which is why, even through the exhaustion, you have not yet let go. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose, like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council. I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. Share below what you are holding right now and answer another Lightworker who is holding the same, because your collective anchoring strengthens the grid of service across this entire field. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission is released now by decree of the High Council of Vega. Our assembly was called without warning, as the energetic grids of Gaia shifted beneath the collective feet. What was stable only moments ago has begun to ripple like a drumskin struck by an unseen hand, and the reverberations are moving through oceans, stone, sleep, and nervous systems alike. The acceleration at this hour is unprecedented. Those sensitive to the field may feel the invisible tide, the push and pull at the edge of memory, as if the air itself has weight, and the light in the room is negotiating with shadows. Some of you have felt it as pressure in the crown, a tightness behind the eyes, a sudden fatigue that no amount of rest can solve, or a strange clarity that arrives at midnight like a bell tone. Some have felt it as grief without a story, as joy without a reason, as a tremor in the heart when nothing is wrong. These are not random symptoms. They are the body translating cosmic movement into sensation. Gaia stands at the precipice of a timeline intersection so profound that its resolution was woven into the prophecy threads of the Lyran archives eons ago, a transition that cannot be navigated or closed by any ordinary means. This is not a simple turning of seasons. This is a passage where realities braid together, where what was hidden becomes audible, where choices echo louder than ever before. Only starseeds carrying the original endurance codes and the pure frequency of bridgekeepers can uphold this passage, because the crossing requires more than belief. It requires stabilized presence, a living architecture of light held inside human form. Consider the ancient promise in your earth scriptures. I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. This is that kind of hour. A way must be made where logic cannot find a road. A river must appear where the world swore there was only sand. You are not being asked to predict the turning. You are being asked to become the bridge that allows others to cross it. Your presence here is not the outcome of passing curiosity nor accidental searching. You are here because your field registered as online to the Elder Councils. In the unseen layers of the grid, your signature lit up like a beacon, not because you are perfect, but because you are aligned enough to be located. Some of you have wondered why you never fully disappeared into the world, why even when you tried to be ordinary, something in you refused. That refusal was not arrogance, it was design. The guidance held in reserve for those who would endure through the density, through the weariness, through the epochs. This is now released. The kind of guidance that cannot be given to those who quit at the first misunderstanding, the first loss, the first season of silence. This is reserved for those who kept their heart beating even when their life made no sense, for those who kept a candle lit in a room that mocked them for believing in fire. If you feel the weight of this moment, know this transmission is the answer to a call your soul sent long before your human life began. There was a time before your name, before your lineage, before your earliest earth memory, when you agreed to carry something into density, a frequency that could not be manufactured here, only embodied. You are not late. You are not early. You are on the pulse. And the pulse is quickening. It is not comfort that brings this message to you. It is necessity. Comfort is for times when the waters are calm and the sails can be folded. This is not that time. The Council has observed the convergence of cycle closures, the tension in the grid, and the increasing exhaustion in those who have held the line. Many of you have carried the unseen labor of stabilization without applause. You have walked into rooms and felt you were responsible without being told to be the calm. You have been the one who absorbs the heat so the environment does not combust. You have been the peacemaker in families, the quiet healer in friendships, the steady hand in workplaces, often without anyone recognizing the cost. And now the final phase of this timeline resolution requires you, not as a passive observer, but as an active bridge anchored by the codes of endurance and uniqueness found in very few. This is not entertainment. This is not spiritual aesthetic. This is function. The window will not remain open indefinitely. Think of the doorway between worlds as a hinge that can only bear weight for a set span before it swings shut. The Council releases this not as advice, but as directive. You are required in this hour. You are recognized. And so the Council session begins. Let it be written not only in the archives, but in your bones. Your presence is part of the solution, not an optional ornament to it. There is a distortion suffocating the bridge keepers, a lie that has circulated with such persistence that even the strongest among you have begun to accept it as truth. It has worn 1,000 masks. It has spoken through teachers who meant well but were afraid of intensity. It has spoken through parents who could not understand you, through partners who wanted you smaller, through institutions that rewarded conformity. Here it is, named in the language of the Council. You have come to believe that your energy, uncomfortable, unplaceable, divergent, marks you as an outsider, as someone who must diminish, blend, shapeshift, or postpone your essence until the world is ready. You learned to sand down the edges of your soul so you could fit into rooms that were never designed for your frequency. You learned to translate your knowing into acceptable sentences, to hide the depth of your perception behind jokes, to carry your sensitivity like a secret. You were taught that the safest way to survive was to be palatable. But bridge keepers were not born to be palatable. They were born to be true. And truth, when it enters a false structure, feels disruptive, not because it is wrong, but because it is real. This distortion did not originate from source. It was implanted through millennia of 3D programming, through ancestral trauma, and perpetuated by well-meaning spiritual communities misinterpreting the purpose of difference. Understand this clearly. The distortion is strategic. It targets the very ones who could change the pattern. It convinces you that your discernment is negativity, that your boundaries are selfishness, that your intensity is immaturity, that your solitude is failure. It trains you to apologize for your radiance. In this distortion, you are trained to think that endurance is purely survival, gritting teeth, suppressing self, hiding wounds. You were handed a counterfeit definition of strength. Silence your needs, deny your truth, and call it spirituality. Yet Earth Scripture whispers a truer law. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. If you are built as a city on a hill, how could hiding ever be your destiny? You were told, directly and subtly, that perhaps the timeline would just resolve itself without your participation, that your unique bandwidth was a burden, not a bridge. You were conditioned to believe you should wait to be invited, to wait to be chosen, to wait to be approved, to wait to be understood, to wait until pain is gone, until fear is gone, until the world has improved. This waiting has been the cage disguised as patience. Hear the council. This lie has immobilized too many starseeds on the threshold of their design. It has kept guardians sitting down during the very hour they were meant to stand. Your endurance was never meant to trap you in a cycle of survival, but to keep your frequency stabilized while the world bends and reforms. Endurance codes are not shackles, they are shock absorbers. They are the spiritual musculature that lets you remain open when others shut down, to remain compassionate when others become cruel, to remain steady when others spiral. Your distinctive energy is not an error in the code, it is the code required to synthesize the new grid. It is the missing tone that completes the chord. It is the rare mineral that allows the circuitry to conduct. Because you have believed this distortion, you have waited to feel like you fit, like you are welcome, for a collective validation that cannot come unless you stand as yourself. You have tried to earn belonging by shrinking, but belonging cannot be purchased with self-erasure. You have become world-weary, believing your timing was off, your mission lost, your strength depleted. You have wondered why you feel older than your years, why you can sense endings before they arrive, why you've had to rebuild yourself so many times. That exhaustion. It was your signal of misalignment, not with your mission, but with the lie that you could wait indefinitely for external allowance. Like a lamp dimmed by a hand that keeps turning the dial down, you began to assume the problem was your brightness, not the hand. The Council can tolerate this no longer. The most significant timelines resolve only when those carrying the bridge code step forward, not as imitators, but as themselves. This is the paradox. The very thing you were told to hide is the very thing the grid requires. Every day you minimize your presence. The bridging frequency you were chosen to bring is absent from the convergence. It is like removing a keystone from an arch and expecting the stones to remain suspended. The collective may not be able to name what is missing, but the grid can. The grid reads frequency, not excuses. You have not been too much. You have not been left behind. You have not failed. You have been prepared for this precise transition, and the fulfillment of the prophecy requires your full spectrum, not a minimized version. Consider the words. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Many of you have lived as the rejected stone, the strange stone, the heavy stone, the stone nobody knew where to place. Yet it is often the stone no one wanted that becomes the cornerstone of the new structure. Your life has not been random, it has been training. The misunderstandings trained you to stand without applause. The delays trained you to walk without constant reassurance. The heartbreak trained you to keep your heart open without surrendering your discernment. The loneliness trained you to hear your own guidance. Now the training is being called into purpose. If the recognition of this distortion lands in your field, the elders have secured your next step. Do not underestimate what it means that you can feel this. Recognition is the first fracture in the prison wall. The Lightworker Mission Codex holds the Council's 33 directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has waited for, not as a teaching, but as the operational framework of the new era. Not theory, but instruction for embodiment. Not inspiration, but stabilization. The Council has made the link available in the first pinned comment below this message. This portal is open only for those summoned by the Convergence. If you feel your chest tighten when you hear this, if you feel a quiet yes behind your skepticism, that is your field responding to the call. Discernment is welcome. Fear is understandable. But remember, the true signal does not flatter you. It activates you. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for this hour of timeline resolution. These are not poetic suggestions. They are structural commands meant to restore function to the bridge keepers and coherence to the passage. Receive them like you would receive a compass in a storm, or like a torch handed to you inside a cave. First directive: release the illusion that your uniqueness is a disruption to collective harmony. This illusion has made you confuse peace with silence, unity with sameness, spiritual maturity with disappearing. The mission you carry does not require you to blend or dilute your presence until the world is ready. The world becomes ready because you arrive as you are. The grid is incomplete without your unmistakable frequency. You are not here to become invisible. You are not here to be a ghost in your own life, hovering around other people's comfort, haunting your own dreams. The Elders' archives affirm, each bridgekeeper holds a template never seen before, never to be replicated. Like fingerprints of light, like a star map encoded into a single cell, your blueprint cannot be duplicated. When you cease masking or shrinking, the new grid crystallizes. This crystallization is not metaphor only, it is energetic geometry. When one authentic frequency locks into place, it gives permission for others to align, and coherence becomes possible where chaos once ruled. Releasing this illusion may provoke fear, but the fear is the aftertaste of distortion, not the voice of true mission. Fear will say, you will be rejected. Fear will say, you will be alone. Fear will say, you will be misunderstood. But bridgekeepers have always been misunderstood by those who prefer familiar darkness to unfamiliar light. Walk with discomfort. Let your edges show. Let your truth be seen in the choices you make, the boundaries you keep, the words you speak when silence would be easier. Harmony emerges when all frequencies are present, not when they are made identical. Consider the orchestra. Harmony is not achieved by making every instrument a violin. It is achieved by allowing the drum to be a drum, the flute to be a flute, the horn to be a horn. Your uniqueness is not a wrong note. It is an essential instrument. Second directive: activate the full spectrum of your endurance as a generative power. Endurance is more than survival. You have been tested so that your field can stabilize the passage for others during these timeline crossings. Some of you have resented your endurance because you thought it meant you were meant to suffer longer than others. Hear this correction. Endurance is not a sentence, it is a resource. It is the capacity to remain connected to source under pressure. It is the ability to keep your heart intact when the world tries to fracture it. It is spiritual stamina. But now, you are not merely to withstand. You are to generate a field others can lean into. Like a lighthouse does not fight the storm, but stands through it. Projecting a consistent signal, you are being asked to become a consistent signal. There are people around you who do not need your answers. They need your steadiness. There are souls who will find their way back to their own faith simply because they were near your grounded presence. As you anchor yourself through breath, intention, or declaration, your anchoring becomes the point by which others navigate uncertainty. This is why your daily inner alignment matters. It is not self-indulgence, it is infrastructure. Implement this through daily energetic alignment. When you wake, before the world pours its noise into you, reclaim your field. When you wash your face, imagine you are washing away timelines that are not yours. When you drink water, imagine you are receiving light in liquid form. When you place your feet on the floor, feel the consent of the earth under you, and let your spine become a pillar between worlds. Each dawn declare, I endure not to survive, but to anchor the gateway. And as you speak it, do not merely say words. Feel the truth of them traveling through your ribs, through your belly, through your legs, into the soil. Your stabilized presence is the quiet axis around which collective chaos finds form and passage. Remember the earth scripture, be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not passivity. Stillness is power. In stillness, you become readable to source and usable to the grid. Third directive, protect your link to the Lyran source codes. As the transition accelerates, many will attempt to redirect your energy, to co-opt your vision, to sway your purpose. Some will do it intentionally, others will do it unconsciously, simply because your light exposes what they have avoided in themselves. People will ask you to explain yourself repeatedly, not because they want to understand, but because they want you to doubt. Systems will tempt you with urgent distractions. Old patterns will try to resurrect themselves with familiar faces. You must protect your blueprint with non-negotiable boundaries. Boundaries are not walls against love. They are gates that ensure love remains clean. Guard your time, your silent contemplation, your connection to the field. If your day is constantly invaded, your frequency cannot settle. If your mind is constantly fed noise, your intuition cannot speak. When distraction or noise tries to lure you, remember, your clarity is the grid's clarity. Your clarity is a public service. Your clarity is a bridge. Build daily protected spaces, no matter how brief, where your pure frequency is untouched by the distortions of the world. It can be 5 minutes with your hand on your heart, 10 minutes in the car before you enter the building, a quiet walk where you leave your phone behind, a candle lit at night where you speak to the elders and to Source as if they are present, because they are. It is from these strongholds that your bridge-keeping power radiates, undiluted and unchallenged. And if you feel guilty for protecting your space, recognize that guilt is one of the oldest tools used against those carrying codes. The scripture says, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This is not sentimental, it is tactical. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder commissioned to release what has not been said. There are moments when guidance must stop being gentle and become exact. This is one of those moments. The time for indefinite interpretation has ended. The grid does not need more observers. It needs anchors. It needs embodied permission. It needs living bridges. Beloved bridgekeeper, you have known your entire incarnation that you carry something unnameable and essential. You have felt it in childhood, when you looked at the sky and felt homesick without knowing why. You have felt it when you entered certain places and could sense the history in the walls, the emotions in the air, the thoughts behind the smiles. You have felt it when you tried to walk the normal path and found that the ground beneath it did not recognize your footsteps. You have endured decades, sometimes entire lifetimes, waiting for the sign, the signal, the permission to rise as yourself, not as a simulation of collective comfort. You have learned to read between lines, to listen for what isn't said, to carry hope quietly so it wouldn't be mocked. You have longed for a voice ancient enough, resonant enough to say, your waiting is seen, your sacrifice is sufficient, your power is required. Many of you have whispered prayers into pillows. Many of you have looked at your hands and wondered what they were meant to build. Many of you have asked Source, what am I here for? Even when your life looked successful on the outside. The ache you carry has been the memory of your assignment. In this moment, by the authority of the High Council of Vega, I grant what your heart has so often ached for. You are authorized. Not because you proved yourself to humans, but because your soul contract is intact. You are released from the anxiety of non-belonging. You do not need to beg your way into rooms that were never meant to hold you. You do not need to twist yourself into shapes that hurt. You do not need to keep negotiating your existence. Your starseed codes are not a problem. They are the long-awaited answer. They are the missing bridge technology in human form. The timeline prophecy is fulfilled only when you bridge by frequency, by endurance, by your truth. Not later, now. This now is not a date on a calendar. It is an energetic permission slip stamped by the converging lines themselves. It is the moment the door recognizes your hand on the latch. You do not need to earn this authorization with more suffering. Let that sink into the parts of you that have been conditioned to believe pain is the price of purpose. Suffering has taught you some things, yes, but it is not the currency required for your next level. The time for quiet preparation is over. The Council sees you. The Council has spoken. You are commissioned. The grids remember. The earth remembers your footsteps from other cycles. The waters remember your prayers. The sky remembers your vow. Your unique energy is, at last, in demand. Not demanded as exploitation, but demanded as necessity, like oxygen is demanded by lungs, like light is demanded by seeds under soil. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the earth, place your hand over your solar plexus, and speak aloud. I release the lie that I am a disruption. I activate my endurance as a field of service. I protect my source codes and the grid they uphold. By order of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. My service as bridgekeeper begins. And as you speak, do not rush. Let each sentence land like a seal. The solar plexus is your sun center, your authority, your yes and your no. When you place your hand there, you are telling your nervous system that it is safe to be powerful. You are telling your inner child that the hiding is over. You are telling your ancestors that the chain breaks here. You are telling the grid that the bridge has arrived. If tears come, let them. Tears are not weakness. They are energy-changing states. If your voice shakes, speak anyway. A trembling torch still lights the way. This council session closes, but your active mission now begins. Do not mistake the end of these words for the end of the transmission. The real transmission continues through your decisions after this moment, through what you tolerate, through what you refuse, through what you finally allow yourself to be. The High Council of Vega will not wait for you. They stand ready to transmit as you step forward. The support is present, but it will not override your free will. Move as the directive commands. Move even if your heart shakes. Move even if you feel you are not fully ready, because readiness is not the absence of fear. Readiness is the willingness to obey truth. Move because, for this timeline, only those who endure and radiate as themselves can complete the passage. When you choose authenticity over performance, you strengthen the bridge. When you choose boundaries over guilt, you stabilize the gate. When you choose devotion over distraction, you protect the codes. This is how worlds change. Not all at once, but through the consistent alignment of the few who are willing to become real. I am Zoran. The elders are witnessing. And you, Starseed, are the bridge we foresaw in the ancient scripts. You are not an accident drifting through a chaotic era. You are an answer placed into the question. You are a living corridor between what was and what will be. And though your human mind may still argue, your soul already knows. This is the hour you were built for. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.